Ellie asks, Bob Orton was tag team partners with Randy Savage right about when he had Randy Orton. Was Randy Orton
Right.
named after Randy Savage? And
Yes, he was.
was he really?
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
And she also asks general stories about Bob Orton and your time shared in ICW.
Oh, well, what it was me and the three Poffos were the owners of ICW. And then Bob Roop, Ronnie Garvin, Bob Orton Jr., and Malenko and Ron Wright, they went opposition to Ron Fuller and became All-Star Wrestling out of Knoxville.
This is the Plan B. This is the Plan B
No,
video,
this
isn't
is
it? Or is that not?
this is way before Plan B.
Oh, right.
I'm thinking I'd never seen that Plan B till a couple of years ago, and I said, "Wow," but were they ever going to do that? Hell no. That was just a bluff. They were just working. Get real, Marks. You're not gonna sabotage which they're going to use you anyway. If you can draw money, who wouldn't use those guys?
Mm.
But no, they all come in. We was doing our promos at Somerset, Kentucky for a while, and John Beck was the announcer for ICW for a while when we first started. And then so they all come down there, and then they left Knoxville and they started doing their TV in Lexington with us. So for a while we were International All-Star Wrestling because it was part ICW and part All-Star, but they merged. So we would have two matches on the tape and they would have two matches on the tape. And then we'd work their towns because we were in their markets, and they'd work our towns because they were in our markets. But then Roop, Orton, Garvin, and see, Malenko, he went back to Knoxville. But Ronnie had 20% of the company, and then Orton and Roop, they had 10%. And Randy always trained with Bob Orton Jr. at Sente Sports Center. So, and then after about 2 years, the boys were making more money than us. Now, because it was just we had got two. Now Angelo bankroll. I put my original money I put in, and then Angelo he bought two ring trucks. Then he bought two diesel vans. He said no, he just wanted to wrestle with his kids because he couldn't. They wouldn't take all three of them. They might take them in Charlotte, but they'd use this guy for 2 months and they couldn't stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this way they could stay. And with us, we was going to go in, get established or whatever. And he said, okay, Rip, you go out to Portland and stay there till I call you to come back. Because I was going to go to LA, just like Piper had got Lanny booked. See, Lanny got me booked in Portland. And Piper was going to get me into LA just like he was going to get Lanny into LA. But that's when Randy told Lanny to come home.
Yeah, no, I was actually going to say that because Lanny, when I spoke to him, he was, I think, a bit resentful because they used the whole "we need you in the family" kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to come back because I was having so much fun because when you're in the promotion, there's a lot of stress. And even if it's a good house or a bad house, you're just stressed the whole time. But when it's over, you can't. But since we're wrestlers and we're sort of addicted to this shit, we couldn't wait to do the next one. You know, so Garvin ended up going to Atlanta and working for Ole, and then Bob Roop and Bob Orton, they went to work for Bill Watts. So it all worked out for the best. And I'd talk to those guys later, and I'll see Bob Orton. Well, this is tape, so it don't matter anyway. I was going to see him in St. Louis this weekend.
You'll see him. You'll see him at some point. We know that.
We'll see him at some. But all the stuff where you thought the promoter was screwing them, there's bills. There's bills to be paid.
Yeah.
And when we started promoting, they're saying, "Oh, we thought Fuller was screwing us, but he really wasn't." No, you got bills to pay. You got TV bills. This is at that time you were paying for each market to be on there.
Was it like an? It was like an infomercial almost,
yes,
wasn't it? Yeah.
That's all you're doing. We was putting an infomercial on. That's right. That's a beautiful thing to compare that to.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so they all left, et cetera, and and whatever the next question is or whatever, I get on the roll.
Oh, don't worry. I'll just follow up on that briefly. ICW sort of started, I won't say faltering, I don't know, but I mean, obviously the Poffos just sold up around 84, and then Lanny and Randy end up on Memphis TV.
Right.
Just before they do, and basically they did the whole concession call, didn't they? Say, look, we're closing up, let's make some money. Exactly, let's make some money.
Yeah.
No one hates each other enough not to make money in the wrestling business. But you must have been seeing all these interviews that Randy was saying about challenging Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee.
Now here's the thing. What they were doing was stupid, but I was the low man on the totem pole. And whatever the higher ups decide to do, I'm not going to say a word, because I'm in a first grade level compared to them being in the 8th grade. You know what I mean? I don't know. It didn't seem right to me. We should be plugging our towns, taking everything we have to try and draw money. But then he's saying, well, the people see they're cowards, which I didn't agree with. But that doesn't matter what I was thinking, because I wasn't going to express it anyway. I just did what I was told, because I'm trying to learn the business. And then all of a sudden, when we would have other towns to run, I was entrusted with the money. I was entrusted with doing all the finishes, running the show, making sure the breaks were right, and everything was done the way it was supposed to be done.
Absolutely.